Alright, today's video is the first video without a face cam, obviously. It's also the first video that I'm going to be, it's scripted. I already wrote out basically what I'm going to say. So if you feel I'm talking differently, it's because I'm just reading my own words. I just basically sent myself a message and you'll hear me talking in a moment. But before we get into that, today we're going to be doing a brief review of the Nintendo Switch. Um, I spent the last week playing Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. I went to purchase the game at midnight on launch day, and in doing so, I purchased a Nintendo Switch. Now, I'll have a video about my thoughts on the game soon, um, but this gave me a reason to buy a Nintendo Switch. Now, I always thought the Nintendo Switch was an interesting console, but I didn't necessarily see the relevance in buying one myself yet. Now, I always planned on buying a Switch, but I'm always hesitant to purchase a new console at launch because there are always issues to work out and mixed reviews. Initially, I planned on buying a Switch when the next model released, but at this point in time, there is currently no announcement and it's unreleased. They haven't even announced that there will be a new model, but Nintendo typically releases an updated form of their consoles halfway through their lifetime. The Nintendo DS had three models that I can remember. It had the original, the DS Lite, and the DSi. I personally owned the DS Lite and the DSi later in life. The Switch does have its issues, although having recently purchased one for Pokemon, I've spent a lot of time with the device, somewhere around 80 hours, and I can feel I can give you a good positive review at this point. The Switch, although in a lane of its own, does hold up against the PS4 and Xbox One. Now, it certainly does not do so specs-wise, but it truly can be a more enjoyable experience altogether than the Xbox or PS4. Playing the Switch simply is fun. I have a PS4 Pro and I haven't turned it on since I bought the Switch other than today to record the footage that you're watching right now. Uh, Nintendo and its seal of approval have certainly focused on the quality of games in which they release. Now, their consoles may not have certain bells and whistles like the PS4 Pro does, being able to record my content and things along those lines. They're not beefy, but the games are memorable. More people know how to play Mario than they know how to play Call of Duty 4, and that's just facts. I haven't yet gotten a chance. This is an argument for an entire different video. Regardless, I haven't yet gotten a chance to play Breath of the Wild. I know I'm a monster, but that will be the next title that I pick up. Upon release of the Switch, I found the device interesting, but I was skeptical. My friends typically played the Nintendo Switch while I had a computer applications class across the parking lot at a different building, which was like called the ISD at my high school, and it was like for special elective classes. There were more specialized classes, so I got to have a PC Tech class, and in my second year, it was more or less dicking around because the first year I completed the first year's work and the second year's work. But regardless, people were playing Mario Kart and stuff like that on the smart board, and it looked fun. And I played the Switch too, and my friends had the Switch, so I know that the Switch is fun. But I didn't see how it would be ethical to me having had a PS4 Pro and a 3DS, which is still extremely relevant. Regardless, I found the device interesting, but was skeptical. Having played LAN Fortnite parties with my friends cross-platform, PS4, Xbox, connected to my Switch in the same room, I know this device is onto something. We basically set up a small TV on one side of my room, and then had my initial setup connected to my PS4 playing with the Switch. Um, Playing with the gamepad is not bad. It's fun to play with your friends, and you can do it anywhere. You could potentially play a game I'm playing now on the PS4. Yeah, you could play Terraria on your Switch if it's not released yet. I know it's in development. The Switch at this point in time has only been released about a year, but has a huge selection of games and indie titles that are downloadable from the eShop. I feel the 3DS is still extremely relevant. I'm still playing mine today. I'm soft reset hunting right now for a shiny Latios on Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I have a video of me catching a shiny Raikou. That's on my channel. Check it out. But anyway, I didn't feel a need for a Switch until I had one. That's very true. For anyone who doesn't like the controller concept, you can buy a Pro controller, which is basically an improved Xbox controller. It feels better in your hands. The Switch gives you the ability to play AAA titles like Skyrim on the go and with your friends. I don't know what else you need to say to sell something like this. The Switch's first model feels something like a quality piece of plastic. I hope the next model improves upon its design and improves upon the design of the dock, has more controller ports so people don't need to continue to buy their sold separately adapters for GameCube controllers. Like, it should just have a GameCube controller port. I don't know why it doesn't. Um, uh, Backwards compatibility is something that people always want, but regardless, I also wish my third-party USB controllers worked because I have a third-party USB GameCube controller. I wish that would work. We all can dream, can't we? The Switch also should come with screen protectors or a more durable design in which the dock will not scratch the device. The Switch has a huge variety of games, but being an emulation nerd and retro gamer, I'd be much happier if they had a wider selection of virtual console titles. Nintendo loves to sue ROM sites, and great sites like Emu Paradise have taken down all their files in fear of a legal battle with Nintendo. Why are they doing this? I wouldn't mind them cutting off our dope, the ROMs, if they gave us Netflix. If they gave us a Netflix like streaming service with retro games. Other YouTubers have mentioned this topic. I'll have a video about it one day. Um, at this point in time, to be brief, we should be able to play NES, SNES, Nintendo 64, GameCube, Wii, everything Nintendo has previously released as physical games on the Switch because of it has the power and resources to do so. You can do it on Android phones and tablets. Why not the Switch? Also, you can buy a Joy-Con or literally connect a Joy-Con to your Android device and play all the game titles, all those game titles that for the consoles that I just mentioned, free for download. You can download ROMs for free basically and play all of those consoles on an Android tablet. So that's like, would you rather buy that or a Switch? Fuck being moral. Ethically, it would be much more intelligent in the long run to purchase a high specs Android tablet for the similar price range. This is me asking a question. Uh, you'd have much more longevity, games, emulation options, and you'll potentially be able to emulate your Switch games on Android at one point. There are multiple Switch emulators in development as we speak, although setting up these devices may be less streamlined and potentially a better investment for older, more experienced audience interested in that sort of thing. If you want to play Pokemon on your TV, go buy a Switch. If you can't afford a Switch, download Dolphin Emulator and get a $10 GameCube USB controller on Amazon from RetroPower and upscale Pokemon Battle Revolution or XD Gale of Darkness. The Switch isn't for everybody, but I love it. I have a lot of different perspectives and opinions on this thing, but all in all, the Switch is great for all people regardless of age and is extremely relevant. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you. I'm more content with this purchase than I have been with anything that I've gotten in a very long time. It's made me so happy. Um, and I would not have made a video about this if I did not feel this way. Seriously, I recommend everybody with an Xbox or PS4 consider buying a Switch or asking for one for Christmas. They're a reasonable $300, and at this date and time, they definitely do hold up. So aside from all the scripted bullshit, I apologize if I fumbled there once or twice, but I definitely feel that the Switch is extremely relevant. It's extremely easy to take the dock places too. Now I know a lot of people don't do that, and that's like kind of taking away from the purpose of it. But if you want to play it on a TV in like your hotel room or something like that, it's not a bitch to take somewhere. It's not big and clunky like the PS4 or the PS4 Pro or the Xbox or Xbox One. Now I know this isn't necessarily something that you would consider those or that you would compare those with because they're the Nintendo Switch is in an entire lane of its own, as I mentioned earlier. The specs range on this thing are completely less. I mean, we're not even like full HD. We're in like 720, but it's ridiculous how nice these things look. Like, I've been playing Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, and it basically looks like HD Wind Waker graphics in Pokemon, and that's, I feel like, what we've all wanted for a very long time. Um, I don't know. I'm excited to play Breath of the Wild, and I'm excited to get Mario Kart. I really love the Switch. I don't think the Switch is a replacement for something like a PS4 or an Xbox, but if you have a PS4 or an Xbox, I would definitely consider you also get the Switch because it's a really nice piece of hardware. It's a really nice console, and I feel it's really the Wii U really scared people because it wasn't the best thing, and it looked like Nintendo was going down a weird route. But we're here now. This is the comeback. I'm telling you, this is the comeback. After year one, it's been a huge success. I'm sure after year five, we'll still be playing the Nintendo Switch, and there will